So, guys, I want to talk about the Oscar nominated short film Night of Fortune. And what I want to say about it is that it's a really good short film, and it's about this man named Carl who has a hard time saying goodbye to his dead wife. He actually goes to the morgue, and also the morgue has like wake lake type of ceremonies, and usually a wake ceremony, for people who don't know, is that you can say goodbye to your loved one either one-on-one or in a group of people, or or maybe like two or three people, but it's just meant for people to say their final goodbyes before they actually do burial or cremation. Or sometimes when people pass away, they have personal items on them. Sometimes somehow they have personal items like collected with them. Or also too, that sometimes you may just say your goodbyes, and then over a period of time they'll say, okay, we have to just do cremation on the body. So Carl has a very, very hard time just saying goodbye. He wants to go to open her casket alone to look at her, and he can't bring himself to do it. So he goes to fix the light and just say like, okay, use it as a distraction. Be like, okay, it's not that I feel uncomfortable seeing my wife's dead body. It's just that I'm bothered by the fact that there's a light that's flickering. And then he fixes it, and then he goes to the bathroom to cry, and then he meets this man named Torben. And Torben says that he and Torben actually connect a bit. And Torben says that he's saying goodbye to his dead wife. Torben saying that he wants to say goodbye to Torben's dead wife. So they go see Torben's wife, and then Torben is saying things like, "Oh well, she would love to sing. She loves to sing, but she's not really good." And they both kind of chuckle and joke about it. And another issue with this film that I'm going to stop at really quick is that they said that this film was like a dark comedy, but it really wasn't to me. It was more of a drama with maybe one or two jokes in it. So you can even like say it's a dramedy, but it's more of a drama than anything else really. Just like more about a serious situation. But I think they were trying to like put some like humorous quips in it, like that one, to just really sell it as, there's like we can still have jokes, but I think you'd have to do a little bit more with that in order to really just sell it as a dark comedy. So, so they see they visit Torben's loved one, and they kind of bond over that. And what happens is that there's a group of people that come in and visit Torben's loved one at the very end. And then what happens is that Carl is alone because he's working up the courage to see his dead wife. And and I think one of the themes of it is that sometimes when you're dealing with death, it's not hard. Sometimes it's better to just deal with it in a group of people who've lost the same person, because it's hard to deal with it one on one. And sometimes there are perfect strangers who have no problem just helping you out, even if two people are going to the morgue for separate people. They may just like say, you know what, why don't we go to our loved ones? You first, me next, just to kind of make it easier and everything like that. So I think that that's also a theme about camaraderie. So what I will say about it is that at the end of the film, it was actually revealed that actually the woman that Torben was seeing is not actually his wife, and that his wife actually died 3 years ago. So it kind of leaves you a mystery of what's Torben's relationship with the woman that passed away, since that's not his wife. Was it somebody he knew through an affair? Was it just a friend? Were they just friends? Was he just a male friend, and it was platonic, and they feel for each other, but they don't let their family know or whatever. So it adds a layer of mystery and intrigue, and then it makes you also kind of question if it was a dark comedy. Maybe it's kind of like another joke about saying, oh well, she was kind of a scamp, really, type of thing, a tramp or whatever, so. So it does kind of make you think a little bit about. It does make you kind of think a little bit. It adds another dimension. So I do kind of think that there's a couple of things that I'll say, and then it kind of then what happens that ends with Carl just not having the courage to see his dead wife again, and then he sees Torben outside, and then he and Torben actually go see Carl's dead wife, and Carl makes his closure. So there's definitely, like as I said, I think the main theme is just being there for others. Definitely the power of understanding that it may be too hard to do something alone, and it's important to have other people that are there. And sometimes, even if you don't know somebody, if somebody doesn't know you, it's awesome if you want to go out of your way to emotionally support somebody. I remember when I was working in the hospital a few years ago, there was a woman that was saying goodbye to her dying mother, and the mother was actually going through the process of physically dying. And I remember how her how the nurses were just busy because there was a meeting going on, and this woman was dealing with it, and she was kind of very, very upset. But I actually interrupted the nurses meeting saying, "Oh well, somebody's dying, and this woman looks really upset, and she needs somebody to go through it," because that's what she was communicating, and they helped her through it. And I could have just said something like, "You know what, my day's too busy," or "You know what, it's not my problem," or "You know what, there's so much work that they put on me that I can't really step out of my way to make that woman say goodbye to her mother in a way that had a support system for her." And also not make it come across like, okay, well, even nurses have to stop what they're doing, and even nurses get too busy to stop what they're doing, because obviously when you work in a hospital, it's nonstop work, nonstop really. So my actions, helping a stranger made her help her mother, help her deal with her mother's passing in a way that was respectful, not like, oh, well, the hospital's too busy to help her through it. So, it's important to help people who are going through a hard time. It's important to reach out to people. And sometimes when it comes to death, with that person, you only get one shot, really. So if there's people, what would have happened if Carl became a person that's like, I wish I could have said goodbye. I wish I could have said goodbye before cremation and all that stuff, So it really shows that, it's awesome to help people make their closure. So that's all I gotta really say. I do think that this is a very, very powerful piece, and definitely a very emotional one. And I definitely think there is a lot of lessons about being there for the next person. So, definitely it's really important to just be caring and loving and respectful individuals, and also be respectful of what people are going through. So, there's definitely a lot of lessons from this about, how we can treat our fellow human being with compassion when they're going through a hard time. And then also the power of reaching out to people, and the power of reaching out to people if we know it, and if people reach out to us, to be there for others, really. So it's definitely a very powerful piece. I'm happy to give it a chance. And when I saw it a few weeks ago, and I rewatched it today, I was at the Greenboro Theater in Greenboro, North Carolina. It's a very beautiful one. So, support your local movie theaters as well. So I'm happy to give Night of Fortune a really great review. It definitely deserves it, and everybody should watch the short film. It's on YouTube.